in New York, announcing yet again another Canelo Alvarez fight, a fight that will be honoring the Mexican Independence Day weekend. Now this will be Canelo's fourth fight and third fight in a row under the Premier Boxing Champions banner. And I just want to say what a privilege and an honor it is to have worked with Saul, Canelo Promotions, and Eddie Reynoso on all of these events. And as Brian said, he'll be taking on the hard-hitting, undefeated WBA #1 ranked contender Edgar Berlanga. In Canelo's first fight, back in 2021 with PBC, he beat the undefeated IBF champion Caleb Plant to become the first undisputed super middleweight champion. Then he came back, he took on Jamel Charlo, and for the first time in the four-belt era, it was an unprecedented matchup between two reigning undisputed champions. And in his last fight, he took on yet another undefeated fighter, the 43-0 former world champion Jaime Munguia, in a historic all-Mexican showdown on Cinco de Mayo weekend. And now, on September 14th at the T-Mobile Arena, the Mexican fans and Puerto Rican fans are going to be in for a wild scene out in Las Vegas. And not just on fight night, but all week during fight week. They're going to be loud and boisterous, flags are going to be waving, fans are going to be screaming, because national pride is on the line. And we all know that both Mexican fighters and Puerto Rican fighters love to slug it out, so we've got a great night and looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tom Brown. Let me introduce some of the people you see here on the stage. Of course, you know Tom Brown, president of TGB Promotions. Louis DeCubas Jr., talking about the management team here, Canelo Alvarez, his manager, and one of the greatest trainers in the sport of boxing, Eddie Reynoso, obviously here in the champ. To my left, your right, Edgar Berlanga, his father and trainer, Edgar Berlanga Sr. You've got the chairman of the Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. It's a long time, my brother, good to see you. Keith Connolly, talked about the manager of Edgar Berlanga as well. You know what, since it's been a long time since we've seen each other, how about bringing him up to the podium? He is the chairman of Matchroom Sports, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. And what a moment for Edgar Berlanga at a time when boxing is red hot. Of course, last weekend, every weekend is a mega fight week, and it doesn't get any bigger than Canelo Alvarez fight weeks. We've missed the Canelo Alvarez fight weeks, and this time we come as the opponent. Many opponents we've had have faced him in the past: Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, John Ryder, Rocky Fielding, and now we have a real shot in Edgar Berlanga. It's been interesting to see the response. I think Edgar's been overlooked, disrespected. He's the #1 challenger with the WBA. He's the mandatory challenger. He's earned the right to this shot. And when we signed him 13 months ago, we promised him a shot at the great Canelo Alvarez. As things moved on, that shot looked as though it become more difficult. And as always, it's the lottery ticket of boxing to land the shot against Canelo Alvarez. And for that, we want to thank everybody at the PBC, Louis, Tom, and of course the champ and Eddie for taking this fight with Edgar. Keith Connolly done a great job to get this made. But this isn't just about winning the lottery. This is about claiming a ticket. And Edgar Berlanga is here only to win. 16 first-round knockouts in his first 16 fights, 22-0. This kid has amateur pedigree. This kid has ability. This kid has dynamite in his hands, and this kid has a big set of cojones that will put everything on the line on September the 14th. I know that Canelo Alvarez wants real fights, guys that will come to him to win. This guy won't dance around the ring. He won't try and survive the 12 rounds. He will come for a firefight with Canelo Alvarez. And yes, it is Puerto Rico against Mexico, but it's deeper than that. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for Edgar and his father. He's dedicated his life to the sport, and I promise you, he will give every inch of his soul in Las Vegas. Tom is right, this is going to be a wild week. Canelo Alvarez weeks always are. Incredible scenes, but remember one thing, this guy is here to fight, this guy is here to dethrone the king, and he will give it everything and let his hands go on a wild night.
in Las Vegas on September 14th. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. When you talk about management in the sport of boxing, the Cubas is probably one of the best. You know, on the other side here, you got another one of the best in the sport. He's the manager of Edgar Berlanga, Mr. Keith Connell.
Great to be here. Excited to be involved in another mega event with one of my guys, Edgar Berlanga. I've been up here a few times in the same situation. We've come up a little short, but all my guys have put on great performances. I expect nothing else from Edgar Berlanga. As Eddie said before, I think a lot of people are overlooking Edgar, but the kid is young, he's strong, and I know for a fact he's got the will to win. So I want to thank Canelo Alvarez for giving us this opportunity. Obviously, Eddie Hearn, an amazing job. Our one goal when we signed with Eddie Hearn, we said, get us the Canelo Alvarez fight. And a little over a year later, we're right here where we want to be. I also want to say a special thanks to Louis DeCubas. I feel like we've become brothers over the last couple of months. I want to thank Eddie Reynoso, the manager of Canelo Alvarez, for giving us this opportunity. Also want to thank my buddy Al Heyman for making this negotiation, even though it's between two rival promoters, pretty smooth. Thank you, Eddie, as well. Two Hall of Famers. The fact that those two guys, Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman, aren't in the Hall of Fame yet, it's a travesty, but that's a conversation for another day. Two greats of the sport. And I want to thank Tom Brown, the promoter of the show. I really think September 14th is going to be a tremendous event. Mexico versus Puerto Rico, and like I said, Edgar's got bombs in his hands, and I expect him to shock the world on September 14th.
Coming to the podium, this man is the manager of Canelo Alvarez, and arguably, you could say probably the best trainer in the sport of boxing. He's won the award countless times, Mr. Eddie Reynoso. Genesis, once again, will do the translation.
Buenas tardes. Antes que nada, pues agradecer a todos los que están aquí presentes, la prensa, agradecer al señor Alheim por ser posible esta pelea, a Matchroom, al equipo de Edgar Berlanga. Sabemos que las peleas entre México y Puerto Rico siempre van a ser guerras, así lo dice la historia, desde los triunfos de Julio César Chávez, los triunfos de Salvador Sánchez. Creo que este 14 de septiembre vamos a enfrentar a un tremendo boxeador, un gran prospecto de Puerto Rico y que quiere llevarse los cinturones. Nosotros vamos a hacer nuestro trabajo, vamos a hacer una gran preparación y esperen una gran pelea ese día 14 de septiembre. Y una vez más, muy agradecidos por todos los que vinieron aquí a apoyar esta pelea. Muchas gracias.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. September will be a very exciting day. In Mexico, fighting is a huge thing. I want to thank all the team at PBC. And once again, I am thankful that all of you are here and looking forward to September 14.
And we look forward to seeing this next man in the ring. He's unbeaten, 22-0. 17 of his victories have come by knockout. Fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. Training now in Tampa, Florida. Representing that Boricua and Puerto Rico, the undefeated WBA #1 ranked contender, Edgar Berlanga.
First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for this opportunity. I want to thank PBC. I want to thank Louis DeCubas, Al Heyman, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, my manager, Keith Connell, my dad, Edgar Berlanga Sr., and I also want to thank Team Canelo for giving us this opportunity. Listen, man, there's a lot of doubt out there on me and a lot of hate, but I've been facing adversities, man. I've been facing hate all my life, you know. This is my opportunity to become a great champion, but also be legendary in the sport of boxing. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. You know, and September 14th is going to be something to remember. I keep telling you, man, superstar status, you know. It's going to be something amazing, man. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. That's the biggest rivalry in boxing, you know. And we're looking forward to making history September 14th. Fireworks, baby. Thank you guys. I love you.
Coming to the podium, the unified champion. 61, 2-2. 39 of his victories have come by knockout. He hails from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. He's legendary. He's a boxing superstar. 4-division world champion. He's the reigning WBA, WBC, and WBO super middleweight champion of the world. He is Canelo Alvarez.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you everybody for coming, and thank you Al Jaimon, thank you Luis, thank you Eddie, Tom, thank you Eddie Hennes, my boy, thank you all the team. I'm very happy to be here in this position, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. I'm not overlooking him. I know he's a strong fighter, young fighter, and I'm gonna put all my best in the training, all my best in the fight to put it a great fight. And I'm just happy. I love boxing. I love what I do, and I'm happy to be here and other one. And remember, this fight is gonna be a great fight, and it's gonna be a great day for Mexico. Thank you so much.
Gentlemen, let's talk about the fight. Champ, I'll start with you. I'll ask you the question I'm sure you're going to get from the press, so we might as well get it out of the way now. Tell everybody why Edgar Berlanga and not David Benavidez or Terrence Crawford.
I think this fight is a good fight for the people, no? Mexico versus Puerto Rico, always a great fight, and I think it's a good fight for the people.
Edgar, I've watched some of your social media, and I heard you say a little bit of that today. Why do you think you're being overlooked?
Like I said before, man, I've always been overlooked. You know, even if I had a world title, I'll still be overlooked. You know, I've been overlooked all my life, and I said this earlier on the Breakfast Club. I said that, you know, when I first turned pro, nobody wanted to sign me. No promotion wanted to sign me. And I had to go there, dig my feet deep in the ground, and work, and knock people out. And I started knocking people out in the first round, and that's when everybody started wanting to sign me. So, you know, I feel like I'm in the same position right now. You know, getting this fight with Canelo. A lot of people was, you know, talking shit. Before that, I'm fighting cab drivers. Now that I'm fighting a legend, they saying I'm gonna get knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So with the people, like Fat Joe said, you never win. So I just put my head down, keep working, stay humble, and you know, and then just turn up September 14th. Man, this just sounds legendary for the sport of boxing. You know. And I don't want to hear, listen, man, I don't want to hear Benavidez, fuck Benavidez. You know, shout out to Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But they keep mentioning Crawford. He fought a 54-pounder. You know, it was a tough fight. You know, we got business to handle September 14th. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just keep mentioning Benavidez and all these guys, man. Like, yeah, I know it's not gonna happen. For me, and that's just that, man. Like, September 14th, Berlanga, Canelo, Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
Canelo, he's gotten a chip on his shoulder. Feels like you're overlooking him. Tell him, what is Edgar going to get on September 14th? What should he expect?
No, I never overlook my opponents. I know Edgar Berlanga is young, is strong, but at the end of the day, he have a big challenge in front. It's gonna be a great fight. He's gonna experience something different, and the people is gonna enjoy this fight.
Edgar, these are the type of fights that bring something special out of a fight. Can you let the people know, let Canelo know what he's going to get and what they're going to see on September 14th when you step into the ring with Canelo Alvarez?
September 14th, man, he's definitely going to bring the best out of me. Like, everything that I know who I am, my coach, my father, he's going to have the best Edgar Berlanga ever. And one thing about me is that when I step up in competition, everything else steps up as far as my boxing ability. This fight is nothing physical. It's nothing physical. He fought guys that's strong. He fought Triple G. He fought bigger guys, Bevel. This fight is all mental, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the IQ, is to be intelligent, in that ring. And he brings a lot of that. So we got to make sure we match that. It's will versus will. It's who could break whose will. It's line versus line. And I'm Puerto Rican, I'm young, I'm strong, and it's gonna be fireworks September 14th, man. I'm not running, we're not going nowhere, we're gonna stay right there, and we're gonna do what we do.
I like it. He says he's not running, he's gonna be right there. Is that the kind of fight that you want and that you like, Canelo? A firefight?
I love it. I really love it.
Come on, man, you got Puerto Rico versus Mexico, man.
I don't expect anything else. I know he's gonna come to bring everything, and me too. And that's the fight I really like it. I love it, and I'm gonna enjoy it a lot.
What does this rivalry mean to you? We always hear that Puerto Rico versus Mexico. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot because it's history. It's history. We had great fights, but versus Mexico, Puerto Rico, and I think this is gonna be other one to the books, the boxing.
Edgar, same question. What does that mean to you? We talk about that Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry.
Listen, man, I'm 27 years old. I started boxing when I was 7 years old, 20 years in the game, and we've been dreaming about this since I was a kid. And when I turned pro, Canelo Alvarez was on my mind. And anybody out there knows, I manifested this fight. Between my hard work and keeping God first, we got the fight. And we're here now, man. It's a blessing to be here. And I want to thank everybody, man. This fight's gonna be something to remember. And it's crazy because this year, right after I knocked out Patrick McCorry, we didn't know who was gonna get the Canelo fight. I had a dream with Canelo in my dream, and he was at my fight, he watched me. And I knocked the dude out, and he looked up in a dream, and he was with somebody, he told somebody, you see that kid right there? I was on top of the ring, going crazy. He was like, you see that kid? We're gonna make history. He didn't say the date. When I woke up, I already knew. I said, yeah, we getting this fight in September, 1,000%.
Kid's hungry. Says he's been dreaming about this fight and dreaming about you. How does that look? So he's been feeding to get his paws on you. How does that motivate you when you know you got somebody who said, I've had you marked my entire career?
I feel great. Somebody dreaming about me. It's perfect. I like it. He got it.
So we'll wrap it up with this. I'll start with you, Edgar. Saturday, September 14th, Las Vegas, BBC pay-per-view. There'll be a lot of people. That ring's gonna be sold out. There's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna put down their hard-earned money to buy this fight. What can you guarantee they're going to get when Edgar Berlanga steps into the ring with Canelo Alvarez?
Like I said before, fireworks, you know, they think, you know, we don't predict the fights, you know what I'm saying? And we're going in there and we're going to do what we do, you know. Fireworks, baby, superstar status, you know, it's legendary September 14th, man. It's Puerto Rico, fuck all the haters, man, you know, fuck all the haters, and whoever's on social media chatting and talking, because for every hater is another pay-per-view bar, man, so get your pay-per-view ready, man.
Champ, we'll wrap it up with you. September 14th, for all those people who come out, lay down their hard-earned money, what can you guarantee they're going to get when you step into the ring with Edgar Berlanga? He says he's going to become a legend that night. What can you guarantee they're going to get?
We'll see. That's we have this fight, right? And I'm gonna put my best like always, and I always say that it's not the same. Call the lion to see they coming. So it's gonna be a really good night for boxing. I guarantee that.
Folks, September 14th, T-Mobile Arena, the fight capital of the world. The unified super middleweight champion, Canelo Alvarez, against the #1 contender, the unbeaten Edgar Berlanga. Gentlemen, let's have one last face-off.